duties because of his age and worsening health. Mumbai's posted its highest voter turnout in decades as India's weeks-long parliamentary elections continue. FSN's Bruce Harrison reports from the city.
Mumbai's 6 constituencies drew an average 55% voter turnout despite the hot weather. The ruling BJP and coalition Shiv Sena currently control all 6. Their supporters say increased turnout is part of a growing wave of national support for Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The opposition Congress Party claims numbers jumped among the poor Dalit community as well as Christians and Muslims. Congress says they're concerned Modi isn't offering minorities enough protection, and they responded at the polls. I'm Bruce Harrison in Mumbai.
The University of Cambridge is to investigate its own historical links with slavery. Its aim is to examine whether the university gained from the slave trade and what its connection to it was. Natalie Powell reports from FSN London.
We shouldn't hide from the past is the message from Cambridge's Vice-Chancellor and Professor Stephen Toop. He's chairing an advisory group based in Cambridge University's Centre of African Studies to look into whether the university benefited from the slave trade and what its historical links with slavery were. The investigation is expected to last around 2 years and will delve into archives, libraries and museums to look into the university's own exposure to profits from forced labour. It follows similar measures from other universities in the UK, including Glasgow, who've now set up a centre for the study of slavery after the university discovered it had received donations that were derived from slave trade profits.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
Any views or opinions expressed on KUR are not necessarily those of Kutztown University, Kutztown University Student Government, Kutztown University Student Services Incorporated, KUR staff and management, or other affiliated organizations.
Kutztown Live. KUR's campus and community interest radio magazine. You can always be a part of Kutztown Live by giving us a call at 610-683-4859. And now, this is Kutztown Live.
Hello, and welcome to the radio voice of Kutztown University, KUR. It is Laura Keim here, our last time this semester at least, of live Kutztown Live shows. I have my fabulous, wonderful co-host Juliana Jablonski with me. Say hello.
Hello. This is my last Kutztown Live ever. I can't believe it already. I graduate in 2 weeks, so it has been such a wonderful treat these past 2 years. I guess 3. This is the 3rd year, I guess.
That is so crazy. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we'll come back to that conversation at another point. I promise. Hopefully we'll have you back as an alum, maybe. Maybe
if
Who knows?
I'm in the area, I'll drop by.
Perhaps. But today we have a very exciting show nonetheless. Even though it is the last one with Juliana, we have a very exciting show. We have some friends from the Northeast Berks Chamber of Commerce. We also have some friends from the Alumni Association. So I'm going to introduce our good, wonderful friend, or would you like to do it since this is one of your favorites?
I guess my last radio show here, I would love to introduce the lovely Lori D'Onofrio Galli from the Northeast Berks Chamber of Commerce.
Anna, I'm going to miss you so much.
Oh my goodness.
I can't believe you're leaving.
I know, I'm so sad.
Well, it's been great working with you, and I want you and Laura to know that suddenly at home I'm saying hello to my dogs. I have no idea where I heard that before. Well, I'd like to get started before I introduce my special guest today from the Northeast Berks Chamber with some updates on upcoming events. Remember, you can stay up to date on all of our activities, programs, and special events at northeastberkschamber.com. Coming up on May 7th, we are partnering with Accelerated Instructional Media, or AIM, in Leesport for an open house, and that will be held from 5 till 8 p.m. The detailed information can be found at our website. Our last breakfast of the Chamber season, which runs always from September through May, will be held on the 3rd Friday of May. That's the 17th, and that will be held at the Lions Fire Company. And an internship panel that's been organized by the Business and Education Committee of the Chamber will be our focus, and that's an opportunity for all of our attendees and participants to hear from student interns and their business placements. On May 23rd, there's an exciting grand opening and ribbon cutting at Planet Fitness Kutztown, and that will be held from 4 to 6 p.m. I will be conducting a ribbon cutting for one of our newer members, Planet Fitness, and there will be food trucks on site, although I guess students will be gone, so you won't be there to eat from the food trucks. And then last but not least, at the end of May on the 29th, we're very pleased to have been invited to conduct a ribbon cutting at the Blandon branch of Fleetwood Bank, and that event will be held with refreshments from 5 till 7 p.m. So that's what's coming up in the month of May for the Northeast Berks Chamber. My special guest is Marie Moser from East Pointe Search Group. I can't believe, Marie, that I was thinking back to when I first met you, and it was in December of 2016. And I happened to meet you because you were then and still are the treasurer of the Ole Valley Business Association.
Yes.
And that's how we met, and the rest is history, right? You became a member in January. Marie is celebrating 10 years this September in business. And so, Marie, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do at East Pointe Search Group?
Okay, well, first thank you for having me here today, Lori. I appreciate that. East Pointe Search Group Incorporated is the direct hire solution. We help businesses connect with top talent, and we specialize mostly in professional placement, IT, engineering, manufacturing, but also place office support, personnel as well.
Marie, I always have a question about staffing. What is direct hire placement for those people who may not know?
So a lot of people, when they hear staffing and recruiting, they may think of a temp or temp to hire agency. So direct hire placement, which is pretty much everything and all we do, direct hire placement is when the candidate from day one is the employer's employee, a W-2 employee, not a temp and not a temp to hire.
Well, that's an excellent definition. Now I'll never forget it. Thank you so much. So during the last 10 years, where have most of your clients come from in terms of the businesses, the placements? Where are they located? Just in Berks County or outside of the area?
Most of my clients are located in Berks County. However, throughout the 10 years I've had my own business, as well as the additional 10 industry experience within the staffing and recruiting industry, my clients have also been outside of Berks County, so surrounding counties, across the state, or throughout the United States.
Well, now that you've been established in your business for about 10 years, can you think back to when you got started? You got started because you had been laid off from a job in 2009. Mm-hmm. And what were some of the first steps you took to get your new business underway?
Well, I got on the phones and just started contacting people, companies who I thought would be interested in utilizing the staffing and recruiting services, and just built my business from there. Started out with a very small hodgepodge of office furniture, if you will, set goals. Once there was so much money in the bank account, went and bought myself some matching furniture, and here we are 10 years later.
So you have a stylish home office, in other words.
Yeah, I think it's pretty nice.
That's great. That's wonderful. Now, I mentioned briefly that you're the treasurer of the Ole Valley Business Association. Why don't you talk about that association and what they do and how long they've been around?
So the Ole Valley Business Association will be celebrating 30 years next year. And I've been treasurer, it's about 3 or 4 years now. So I do enjoy that. It's a little extra work each week for me, but I truly enjoy that and the association. I've gotten a good amount of business through that association, as well as through the Northeast Berks Chamber, which you know I love, Lori,
yes.
And you're great.
Thank you.
So yes, Ole Valley Business Association does promote businesses in the Ole Valley region, as well as outskirts. We have members who are, outside of Ole, but it's a good way to network. Usually our meetings are within the Ole or immediate surrounding area.
Now, I also happen to know from talking to you over the last few years that you're involved in the West Reading Wyomissing Rotary Club. Is that true?
Well, that was a former association.
Okay.
Yes, and that is a great group of people and an organization doing some great things. I stepped away from that just because it became, just extremely busy trying to run a business and put in the effort that I wanted to. When I commit to something, I'm probably, it's either all or nothing for me. So it was just a big commitment for me in trying to run my business.
Now, we talked a little bit about your clients in terms of businesses, but what about those job seekers who come to you looking for employment? As you said, you specialize in IT or technical fields, and I know you've interviewed some clients at the chamber office because you reserved the room for that. Mm-hmm. Give us an idea of, how a job seeker, whether it's a new college graduate, which Juliana will be soon, or anyone else, can really prepare to interview with you for one of these available positions.
So it's best to have a resume prepared, and I recommend to candidates seeking employment, if you're not sure how to put a resume together, go to the internet and search for resumes and specific to the experience you have or the career options that you're looking at. And that'll give you a good starting point as far as a format of a resume. You can change things up. When I talk to candidates, I look at their resumes. I definitely give advice. They can take it or leave it. My feelings don't get hurt if they don't take my recommendations, but I try to help candidates out the best I can so they have a resume that is representative of what they're looking for and their experience and skills.
Would you say then that you're screening the applicants for those companies?
Yes, I do an initial screening. So once I receive a resume, I schedule a time to talk by phone, conduct a telephone interview, which that can be anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes. Obviously, it would be longer if the candidate is out of state. I do some placement where candidates relocate into Pennsylvania or to a subsidiary location of one of my clients outside of Pennsylvania. So if it's not possible for me to meet with them in person, it is a lengthier telephone interview. But then following that 20-minute or so telephone interview, I schedule an in-person meeting here in Berks County, and that's my second interview before I would present to any of my clients.
That's really interesting. So what makes a client appropriate for your like a business? Like what makes a good pairing?
Well, is there anything else? I know, Marie. Tell everyone how they can get in touch with you. What's the best way to communicate with you?
Okay, so the phone number for East Pointe Search Group.
Sorry, folks, we are having just some brief
East Pointe
technical
Search Group
difficulties.
Incorporated's phone number is 610-689-9127. And on our website, you can find my contact information, including my email address. The website address is www.eastpointesg.com. And just remember, point has an E on the end of it.
That is a good point. Yes.
That's really awesome. Okay, that's great. I mean, but do you mind if I ask, what makes a good candidate for certain businesses? Like, how do you organize that and make that, make a good connection happen between a future employer and a future employee? Okay,
great question. So it is tough sometimes because I may have a couple positions become available within a certain period of time, perhaps same title, different industry, different requirements. So it never fails. It never seems like a candidate who I've interviewed for one position and wasn't a great fit for their, it's never the same job description, if you will. So as an independent recruiter, my job in representing my client is to make sure that I am finding a candidate who matches all of their requirements or the majority of. And I'm upfront with my clients. If a candidate does not meet a specific criteria, I let them know that. I'm not a recruiter who's just going to throw 10 resumes at them. I'm going to make sure that that candidate has the skill set and experience my client is requiring. So it's a matter of just, an interview, asking questions to learn more about that candidate, what work environment is best for the candidate so we can make that culture match as well. What is their management style or how do they like to be managed? How many years experience do they have in a specific industry and or skill set? And it's just a matter of, and I try not to make it a question answer. I try to hold a conversation. It's a lot more interesting, I think, for both parties when I'm interviewing that way.
Okay, that sounds great. So do you have any advice for a future member of the working class? Like what, the working class of people that's coming into the field maybe in like 2 or 3 years from now? Like what do you think is going to change in the hiring process between now and then?
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's always tough to say because sometimes I feel like every other month I even try a new technique on how to attract candidates to my business and or attract clients to want to utilize East Pointe Search Group for their staffing and recruiting needs. So, I think it's important, especially for college students, whether it's volunteering or internships, anything you can get on your resume, take advantage of it. And the more you have on there, it shows your ambition, your motivation. So it's, as far as a specific industry, it's tough to say, what's going to be booming, if you will, in 3 years from now. But I think for candidates who will be seeking employment in the next couple of years to come, as much as you can get experience-wise, or, again, whether it's volunteering or work, go for it.
Well, that's really amazing. Do you have any other questions, Juliana?
No, I've just kind of been, as Lori said, I'm graduating this semester, so I'm like slowly taking notes of everything everyone's been saying while
I'll
looking
give you
for
my
new
business
jobs.
card before I leave here.
All right, sounds good.
I've been interviewing for a position recently, and I'm not a talent acquisition specialist or expert as Maria is, but I will say this, for younger people that I've interviewed or phone screened, please be prepared when you are interviewed by phone and have an idea of the business, the industry. Take a look at the website, do a little research, because I've talked to a number of younger people. In other words, they've graduated, maybe they graduated within the last 2 years. They have no idea what a Chamber of Commerce is. They haven't looked at our site. So that really is important to demonstrate that you have real interest in the company or the business or the nonprofit.
I did one of those mock interviews here on campus, and the guy they rate you and give you a score after you do everything. And the one thing he had was make sure you ask questions and make sure you really know what you're going into before. And I was like, I never really, you don't really think about that until someone tells you that. And I was like, thank goodness I went.
Because you seem disinterested if you don't know anything about the company.
Another thing you can, when you're doing your research on that company, looking at their website or talking to people you might know who work there, find something on their website, learn something about them. Do they support nonprofits? Are they big in community giving? And compliment that business when you're interviewing. You want it to be natural in the flow of the interview and the meeting, but, companies love to hear that you love what they're doing and are of high interest. It's of high interest to you.
That's actually a really good tip. I had never thought about that like that.
Your eyes are all wide.
I think
Sorry.
this is a timely interview.
Just
today.
blew my mind for that a little bit.
Definitely.
Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate you coming out. So up next is going to be Daniel Price from the KU Foundation and Alumni Association. We will be right back here on Kutztown Live.
The Northeast Berks Chamber of Commerce is your premier resource and voice for trusted local business. The Chamber advances regional economic and cultural growth through supportive collaboration with business and community organizations, as well as government. For more information, call the Northeast Berks Chamber of Commerce at 610-683-8860. That's 610-683-8860, or visit their website at northeastberkschamber.com. Arc Point Labs of Reading specializes in drug, alcohol, and DNA testing solutions for families, workplaces, and life in general. Conveniently located at 2208 Quarry Drive, Suite 207 in the Van Reed Office Center behind Austin's Restaurant. Walk-ins welcome. 484-926-2505 or arcpointlabs.com/Reading for more information. Arc Point Labs of Reading is a member of the Northeast Berks Chamber of Commerce, a 501c6 which helps members grow business relationships, raise business profiles, attract new customers, and partner with area nonprofits and schools to promote collaboration and goodwill.
Like KUR, an award-winning radio station, on Facebook to receive exciting daily content delivered straight to your newsfeed. You'll discover diverse music, breaking news, and engaging student DJ content. Visit facebook.com/KUR1670 to join the fun. Remember to use hashtag KURadio on social media. We are the radio voice of Kutztown University, KUR.
Welcome back to Kutztown Live, only here on the radio voice of Kutztown University, KUR.
Hi, I'm Juliana Jablonski here with
Laura.
Hi. Give me a signal just to say your name, throw it in there. And we just heard from Lori D'Onofrio-Galli from the Northeast Berks Chamber. And along with her, she had Marie Moser from East Pointe, the Direct Hire Solution.
They were some lovely guests, but we have some more lovely guests here about to enter our realm of thinking. I don't know where that sentence was going. Right now,
a long week and it's only Tuesday. So
I know.
Take a deep breath. We've got a KU alum here.
Yes, we do. This is Daniel Price. Hello.
Hi, how are you doing tonight?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great.
So what can you tell us a little bit about why you're here?
Well, I love this place. Not just Kutztown, but KU Radio. Went to school here from 2000 to 2004, and the rooms that we're sitting in were completely vacant. And between me and some other folks, we kind of helped resurrect this place. So it's an honor to be back.
That's awesome. That's really great. So what can you tell us a little bit about the former, or the former life of this place?
Well, it's kind of interesting. KUR goes back decades, but somewhere in and around the late 80s, early 90s, it just fell apart. Technology changed a lot, and I think it was just sort of, I'm 37, so keeping up with, looking back on technology, there were so many changes. Now, even though there's a lot of change, it at least is a little more streamlined, but back then it just changed so much that I think they didn't want to keep up with it financially, kind of fell apart. And when the student union building got renovated in the late 90s, early 2000s, when I got here, they had room for this place. They had a budget for it, but they had no station. So it was kind of an organization that existed. It was a radio station without a radio station. It was kind of a fascinating situation. So we came in, a friend of mine, Jason Parrish, and I, and worked with the students that were involved at the time that were they were very anti-administration. They weren't happy that they didn't have any money, but they didn't know how to deal with the administration. So me being a good politician, I networked with the incoming university president, who was President Ceballos, who was before President Hawkinson, and got him to give money to build this place and hire Mike, and here we are.
That's incredible. That's really incredible. So what can you tell us about the early years of KUR?
Well, in 2002 and 3 is when we came in and just sort of stabilized the anti-administration students, which, look, I can be a rebel with the best of them, but if you have nothing, you got to work with somebody. So we spent a year just sort of getting that together. And then at the beginning of my senior year in 2003, I got President Ceballos to commit the money, but it was going to take a little while. And we had some money from student government. So in the fall of 2003, I spent $2,000, bought a bunch of DJ equipment, and literally would just travel around campus DJing anywhere on campus with no station, just popping up places to DJ in an effort to promote what was going to be a station, because I was going to graduate in May, and I knew that Mike was coming on, but I didn't know Mike at the time. We didn't hire anybody, so I needed there to be students so that when I left, they could continue it on. So we would go to the South Dining Hall, and I would just play hip-hop music on the second floor, like over where you could get like ice cream and stuff like that.
That's incredible.
Yeah. We had breakdancing competitions and everything. It was
times have changed.
Yeah, it's definitely changed here for sure. For the better, ultimately. But yeah.
I wish there were breakdancing competitions in South nowadays.
Every time I tell this story to somebody here, I keep saying that I have the videos somewhere. I used to video it with like a little handheld camcorder. So I still have them somewhere. If I can find them, I'll bring them up and somebody can do something with them.
Oh my goodness, we would love that. We would absolutely love that. Wow, that's so crazy. So do you have a favorite memory about KUR?
Really, those DJing moments on the second floor of the South Dining Hall. I kind of was the host of it. It was almost like, if you've ever seen 8 Mile with Eminem, it was like The Shelter kind of. So we would just have these battles, and that was a great KUR memory. We went to IBS, even though we didn't have a station. We went, so seeing you guys actually win awards is kind of a shocking situation. What?
That makes my heart so happy. I didn't know that you guys went to IBS so long ago. That's amazing.
Yeah, we went to IBS and kind of...
For those of you listening who don't know, IBS does not stand for what you think it does. It stands for Intercollegiate Broadcasting Systems, and it's a conference in New York every year. I don't know if sometimes people like tune in and don't know that, but...
Gotcha.
Yes.
Yeah, no. That was good that you did that. You're far more of a radio professional than I am, because that's the irony is... When I meet people here, they're like, "Oh, what show did you do?" And the truth is I never really did a show. I wanted to, but by the time we got the funding, I was graduating. Mm-hmm. So you're far more of a radio professional, so that's good on the IBS telling people what that is. But yeah, we went the 2 years that I was there, and so really it is incredible to see this station be recognized the way that it is up there now.
Wow, I'm so overwhelmed by how amazing this is.
It's so funny because I was saying today, because I've been here for 4 years, and it's crazy what's changed in just a simple 4 years. So I can't even imagine how different things must seem now.
Yeah, I mean, when I say these 2 rooms that we're sitting in right now, they weren't empty. They had just piles of CDs on the floor and like a computer that wasn't working. Like there was just really like nothing in here. And this is where I really start to feel like I'm old. But this is slightly before the iPod came out. So you didn't really have like a place to truly organize stuff other than we would kill some time making Excel spreadsheets of like what we had because there was no inventory, nothing. Mm-hmm. So it's changed obviously a lot since then. And then I guess just another memory probably would be, it's not from the station, but it's being in the president's big boardroom, which when I've been in there recently, as an adult, it's not that intimidating, but when you're a senior in college, you're like, it's a big deal to go up there, And so going up there and, working with him to get money to really get this going is probably my favorite memory because it built everything that is here, and seeing when I meet you guys, it's worth it.
Wow, that's amazing. So now, do you think, like looking back, you would have done anything differently, or would you have done it all the same way?
Probably all the same way. The guy I worked with, Jason, who's a friend of mine from both middle school, high school, college. I was in his wedding. He's still one of my best friends. He balanced me out. I was the one that would email the president of the university probably once a month or maybe twice a month, just asking him what we could get done here. And I wanted it to happen immediately. And it was really just it's like trust the process, right? Mm-hmm. So it just took time. And so, but I wouldn't have done it differently because I had somebody that was calmer that could balance me out, I suppose. So, there were some heated arguments, which I don't know if anybody here knows Matt Santos, who's still with the university, but he was a great referee with me and several faculty members. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Who I won't name.
That's funny. Spilling tea here on Kutztown Live. No, but I'm overwhelmed. I think this is awesome. Having the opportunity to talk to someone who is basically the reason why we're all here is really humbling and really exciting. I have so many more questions. Okay, so if you had done a show, what do you think you would have ended up doing? Like if you had gotten to that point, say started the process a year earlier or whatever, what would you wanted to have done?
I mean, I love hip hop. I loved hip hop more at the time, so I probably would have done a hip hop show musically. And then honestly, I would have done some sort of talk show with my friends. And I love sports. I love sports even more at the time. There's a radio show right now on ESPN called The Dan Lebitard Show, which is a sports talk show, but it's really just like a comedy show, and it's just friends having fun with each other. That's what I would have wanted to do. So when I see that show be successful, I think, it's one of the things that I wish I would have done, because that's the model of a show that I would have wanted to do. Don't take yourself too seriously. Just have fun. Talk about the current events of the day and the time, and Game of Thrones right now, that sort of thing.
So what do you think your experience in KUR, even if in its very early forms, taught you later on? Like, how have you carried it through your life?
Oh, it's more leadership or just sort of and working with people. Like I said, there were some arguments, but that all of those moments, I walked out of that with experience, with a lot of knowledge on what it takes to get something done, that is going to take time and be patient. And I'm still not patient, but it taught me that to be more patient than I was at the time, probably.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm just kind of taking it all in. No, that's really interesting to hear. And I love hearing stories of how things have changed just because I'm thinking about how things have changed. So what advice would you give to all new radio members that just joined? What would you kind of say to them? Like all the new people that are joining, what kind of you helped to start? What would you want to tell them?
Don't be afraid to do what you want to do creatively. And also know that, it takes a while to find your actual voice, even though you think you know it at the time. Or your voice just ultimately ends up changing because your experiences change, and be patient with that. So it's but just keep trying and keep being creative along the way as best as you can, whatever works for you.
I think that's really good advice, not only just for new members, but for continuing, veteran members as well, is the fact that, a lot of times we get so busy and we get so overwhelmed with all the things that we're doing that we kind of either phone in our shows and just kind of say I'm just going to play this music tonight and we'll see how it happens or whatever. But, thinking really clearly about what we're doing as an art form is really important. And I think that that's one of the most special things about KUR is the fact that we get the opportunity to really express ourselves on air, both, through words, obviously, through talk, and then also through music. And I think that that's really exciting and important. So, I am really grateful that you fought the good fight at the time to be able to open up these opportunities for all of us, because you've definitely changed a lot about our university and changed a lot about at least the opportunities that we have had. So by proxy, you've changed a lot of things in our lives without even knowing it, which is really cool. Or maybe you do know it, and that would be cool too. But I think that that's awesome.
I'm reminded of it when I come in here. I kind of forget, when you talk about it just outside of here and in back home, or it doesn't resonate as much as coming in literally into this room or into these rooms and then meeting all of you. It really happens over the past 40 minutes. So definitely, because it's inspiring to see you guys all kind of get your own start with everything.
That's truly incredible. I mean, we're really grateful for you to come in and chat with us today, and hopefully we'll have you back on soon.
Yeah.
That would be so exciting. We will be right back on Kutztown Live with Brian Zelmer from KU Presents, only here on the radio voice of Kutztown University, KUR.
Ray's Pizza di Sogno is the newest buzz on Main Street. Located at 478 West Main, Ray's has specialty Italian pinwheels, handmade mozzarella, and hot slices at the ready. To order your favorites, dial 484-648-2720. That's 484-648-2720. Or order online at rayspizzadisogno.com. That's Ray's Pizza, DASOGNO.com. Mention KU Radio for a special treat. Integrity Services and Solutions is a local independent insurance agency specializing in employee benefits, Medicare plans, and human resource services. True personal service with a commitment to excellence. Integrity Services and Solutions, 610-939-9593. That's 610-939-9593, or on the web at www.integrityservicesandsolutions.com. Integrity Services and Solutions is a member of the Northeast Berks Chamber of Commerce, a 501c6 which helps members grow business relationships, raise business profiles, attract new customers, and partner with area nonprofits and schools to promote collaboration and goodwill.
I'll pick you up after school. Okay, I got it.
It's easy to take a day for granted. You and your family are connected by routine, and you stick to it. But what if a disaster strikes without warning? What if life as you know it has completely turned on its head? What if your day's routine is disrupted and you can't reach your family? Have you planned for that? Before a disaster turns your family's world upside down, it's up to you to be ready. Get a kit, make a plan, be informed. Today, learn how at www.ready.gov. Ready.gov. This message brought to you by the Federal Emergency Management Agency and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the radio voice of Kutztown University, KUR. You are listening to Kutztown Live. I'm so shook still. We just heard from Daniel Price. He is a founding member of KUR. He's also on the board for the Alumni Association. got a little bit of confusion in there in my notes, but so that led to more of a mind-blown moment than I was expecting. So that's all good stuff. But I am here with my fabulous co-host. Oh, this might be the last time I say this. My fabulous co-host, Juliana Jablonski.
Hello. It is me, Juliana Jablonski. And before the lovely Daniel Price, we spoke to Lori D'Onofrio-Galli from the Northeast Berks Chamber of Commerce. And as always, she brought along with her a special guest. And she will continue to be bringing special guests along with her all summer long. So be sure to stay tuned into the Facebook, the Kutztown University Facebook, because I know posts get shared there. And on the Kutztown University Radio YouTube page, all those will be shared there. But this past show just today, we spoke to Marie Moser from East Pointe Search Group.
Yes, it was lots of fun, but we also have lots more fun coming up because we have Brian Zelmer from KU Presents. Hello.
Welcome to Kutztown Live.
Hi, ladies. Hi, Juliana. Hi, Laura.
How are you?
Good. Congratulations on making it this far. This is your last show. Is that what I heard?
Yes, this is our last show. I just don't have room in my schedule to host KU Live next semester, so we're going to pass it off. And Juliana is graduating.
Juliana,
congratulations. In 2 weeks. I can't believe it. Thank you.
Kind of scary, but exciting times for both of you.
Yes.
Lots of thoughts and emotions. Not sure what yet, but...
Well, good luck, whatever it might be.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me by, and I'm honored to be on your last program. You invited me to come talk about our new season. We just announced our 8 shows that we have coming up next year.
Yeah.
That is so exciting. What are you guys, I don't know, hosting? Is that the right word for it on campus?
Presenting?
Sure.
Can you present? What are they presenting?
Presenting. Duh. Okay. What are you presenting?
Well, we've got a varied lineup again this year, all kinds of different types of programs. We kicked the season off actually October 3rd with Lee Rocker. He's a fabulous bassist, known for being one of the 3 members of the Stray Cats, rockabilly style music. And what's really cool is, in addition to the performance, he's going to be doing a bass masterclass for music students. So that'll be fun.
Oh, that's so exciting. I've been to a couple of the masterclasses that you guys have hosted before, and they're always a great time and have so much information. So.
It's always a great opportunity when we get to have, professional artists. I don't know if you came to Arturo Sandoval, was our last one that we just had, the trumpet player, 10-time Grammy winner, and he was fantastic. He was supposed to work with students for 45 minutes, and he went on like almost 2 hours working, staying and talking to people, answering questions. It's great. And a lot of these artists, they love to give back and help out the next generation of, the future. So that's great. And then we go on to, I don't know if you've heard of a comedian. He's kind of had a little bit of a career called Steve Martin. He's not coming. Sorry, I love doing that. But if you follow what he's been up to lately, you might know he plays the banjo. He has for a long time. And he plays with a group called the Steep Canyon Rangers. They're a multi-Grammy winning group, bluegrass group. And they'll be coming in the end of October. Steep Canyon Rangers. Awesome group.
Do you know them?
I think Laura's gone silent.
Okay, so...
I thought you were joking for a second. You were just like mouthing words, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to do the Heimlich. Like, what is happening?
Okay, so I am a really big fan of bluegrass. I go to bluegrass festivals every year. I've played Steep Canyon Rangers on my show several times. I'm overwhelmed.
Well, mark your calendar, October 23rd. They'll be here at KU.
This is crazy.
That's awesome.
What?
We should just end there. That's really great excitement.
All right, that's it. Thanks for coming.
And then November, we've got a world group. I'm sure you've never heard of Kune because they're pretty new. They're out of the Royal Conservatory of Canada in Toronto.
Cool.
They're made up. They're not Canadians. They're Canadians now, but they're all people who have fled other countries and found refuge in Canada. And they're all professional musicians, and they bring their traditional musics from their homeland countries. And I always forget. I'm trying to memorize where they're all from, but there's Brazil, Matisse, Pakistan, Greece, India, West Africa, China, Cuba, Peru, Iran, and the Ukraine, and and they all come together for this like fusion project. It's really cool. It's it's not jazz music, but a lot of their videos, they have a lot of really strong elements of jazz, and it's really tight. It's very unique, so it's going to be a cool experience, and that'll be in November. And then we come back for the spring semester. In February, we have Dance Theater of Harlem, which is a mega dance group. It's a really big name in the dance world, and we're so excited that they're coming. And not only are they going to be doing their performance, but they're going to actually do a daytime show for area school kids, and then we'll also have a master class for some dancers here on campus. And then at the end of February, we have a really phenomenal group out of Cleveland called Apollo's Fire. They're a Baroque chamber orchestra, and they rank top on, top number one on like Billboard charts for classical music and stuff. And so we're excited that they're coming. And then we have Emmett Cahill. You may have heard of Celtic Thunder. He was one of the stars of Celtic Thunder. In fact, he still tours with them occasionally. And he has just got a beautiful Irish voice that is going to put everybody in awe. And he's performing with an all-female string group called the Emerald String Quartet. And so that's going to be a really nice night of Irish and Celtic music. And then we have a big band group from New Orleans. They're now out of Savannah. They moved to Savannah, but they're originally from New Orleans. Very Harry Connick kind of vibe. And they're called the Fabulous Equinox Orchestra. Big band group. And what's exciting about that is they're going to have opportunities for music students here on campus to guest artist with them and either play solos or whatever, and there's all kinds of opportunities for that. So we can't wait to work with the faculty in the music department to put those pieces together. And then our last show of the season next year is Leia Salonga, who is a Broadway star, a television star, movie star. A lot of people your generation know her because she's the singing voice for Mulan and also Jasmine in Aladdin. But she was the original Miss Saigon on Broadway, and she was the first Asian performer to perform the lead role in both of the female lead roles in Les Mis. So I mean, she's a really big time Broadway star, and we end our season with a bang.
That's incredible. I want to go to everything.
Laura's over here like smiling.
I'm really
nodding,
like having
making all
a
these
minute.
facial expressions, and I'm like what's happening right now?
I wish everybody at home could see you right now.
Yeah, hello everyone. I'm a music major. I'm addicted. It's a problem. I am so excited. This is this made my day. I'm so happy.
Yeah, so we're so happy to present this, and again, it's a very a varied mix of genres and all kinds of things, from dance to bluegrass and everything in between. And as always, next year we'll have $10 tickets for KU students.
I can't wait.
$10, you can see all these awesome performers.
That's incredible. Oh my goodness, that's incredible. Okay. So do you have a favorite that you've had from this past season?
Oh gosh, I can't pick favorites, and it's not just because I shouldn't. It's I really have a hard time because I love this job because it's so different all the time, and I love the different things. So I just love the variety. I can't pick just one.
Yeah.
I wish I could.
Totally makes sense.
Yeah. And everything I book it because I'm a fan too. So there's nothing that I don't like that goes on.
Oh, that's so exciting. My favorite from this season, at least, was the New York Philharmonic String Quartet, because we had we're not like a master class, but we had a meet and greet with them and Q&A and stuff. And the fact that I got to shake the hand, I'm a cellist, and the fact that I got to shake the hand of Carter Bray, the principal cellist of the New York Philharmonic, blew my mind.
Yes.
Oh, what a time.
And the repertoire that they played was not a simple repertoire. No. That was really intense, and
incredible.
It was amazing.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
But yeah, so if you out there are listening right now and have never been to anything that KU Presents has presented here on campus, you absolutely need to get over to Schaefer Auditorium to see some of that stuff, because there's just incredible stuff on our campus right now. And I mean, sure, the music department also has some great stuff too, and that stuff's free, but like this stuff is like people known around the country and around the world that are here on our campus, and that's a huge deal, and it's so exciting. So oh my gosh, I'm glad
you're excited.
So excited.
Tickets are not going to be on sale until the end of the summer. We have through July the month of July, we have our tickets go on sale for subscribers that renew or want to get a new subscription. That's where they buy the entire season, tickets to the entire season. And then single tickets will start August 13th for all of the shows. So if people just want to join our Facebook, which is KU Presents, they can do that, or they can check out our website, kupresents.org. There's a lot of different ways. And then when the semester starts too, if you're a student, you can go right here to the ticket office, I guess, or the booth or whatever.
I think it's in the
it.
MSU, the desk or something.
Yep, exactly. The info desk. Yes.
Info desk.
That's it.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I will be paying a lot of visits to the info desk. I can't even get over how excited I am. Like, I just don't have words.
Well, thanks for having me on today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations on such a great run. It's been great talking with you every time I get to come in.
Thank you so much. You've been wonderful to have on the show here.
Yes, absolutely. And there will be more goodness to come. I mean, like I said, we have some great new hosts lined up for next year. We'll see, we'll let them introduce themselves at the beginning of next semester, but don't worry, we'll set them up nicely so they have some good background and we'll hit the ground running. Throw them in blind, give them no information and say, this is how we do things here. Or this is,
That's how I started.
I know. I can't even imagine. If I didn't have Juliana here just being like, hey, this is how we run Kutztown Live, I would be like, I have no idea what's going on ever. So that's been kind of cool. Shout out to Juliana because she's incredibly fabulous in every way, and we are going to miss her terribly.
Thank you.
It's so crazy. And next year I'll be programming director, which is wild because I'm basically just being like, hey, Juliana, how do I do the things that you do so incredibly well?
Oh, you're so sweet. I know, it's crazy. I can't believe that it's almost over here. This semester has been crazy and fun. But I guess before we go, there's a few announcements just that we want to make before the show's over this afternoon. One, be sure to go to Warped Dorm this Friday. That's KUR's own. It's kind of the spin-off of Warped Tour, so be sure to go out to that. I know Emily Schleig, I always say her last name, or Schlegel. Emily S. has been working very hard on that. We had, what was the one last semester called? Sounds by South Campus.
Yep.
And so now it'll be on the DMZ this Friday, starting at 1:30 in the afternoon till about 11 o'clock p.m.
Yes, it's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be lots of live music, and it's free. It's $0. That's right, 0 of them. But you can bring money and get band merch and music and all kinds of really cool stuff from these artists that are kind of underground and, local performers, a lot of them. Cool things. So
another event that KUR is doing is we're doing a fundraiser at Pops today. So be sure if you know someone in KUR to get a flyer from them
or it's on our social media, I believe.
Yeah.
So you can grab
Find us on Facebook, take that there, and mention that you're there for KUR and help support all of us here at the radio station.
Yes.
A few other events that are kind of just happening here on campus that I wanted to make note of is the Special Olympics in Pennsylvania is to hold their largest statewide sectional at Kutztown University this Saturday, May 4th. More than 2,100 athletes, coaches, and volunteers will be on campus this Saturday. There's about 400 coaches that will be here, and athletes from a number of Eastern Pennsylvania programs will compete in teams and in individual events in 6 sports, including basketball, golf, softball, swimming, and tennis. And there will be more than 500 volunteers recruited from the university, area clubs, organization, and schools around the community to help support the day's activities and cheer on the athletes of that day. So I know that is always a big thing that happens here in like April, May kind of time. And then one last thing that I wanted to mention was the Kutztown Block Party is this Sunday.
Are you a fan of the Kutztown Block Party? I've never been.
I am.
I've never been.
I don't know. It's not like a typical block party, what you would think of. It's more like a bunch of different businesses, organizations, clubs that kind of set it like up their easy up tents, or like a bunch of different like restaurants and places kind of set up their little tent, and they have just a bunch of different stands up and down Main Street of places that you didn't even know existed around the area. And so people are selling their goods or giving away free
peddling
stuff
their wares.
A bunch of different stuff, and I love going. They shut off Main Street. They usually have a bunch of different bands playing and stuff throughout the day, and you can just kind of walk up and down and see all the different stuff.
Okay.
They have like food vendors.
And that's this weekend, right?
Yes, this Sunday. So Friday is Warped Dorm, Saturday is the Special Olympics, and then Sunday is the block party.
That's awesome.
So a weekend full of events here for the last weekend. It's the last week of classes here at KU. I can't believe it.
That is true. Finals week is slowly dawning upon us.
Finals week is slowly dawning. Be sure to tune in to this is so sad, my last ever and final radio show. Monday night, I will be having a very special guest on my show.
Ooh, is it a surprise guest?
I think I said it on my show yesterday, but I haven't said it officially yet.
Okay.
So tune in so you can find out. I made a Facebook event. Everybody follow me on Facebook, the event.
Goodness.
But be sure to tune in. I know we had a lot of problems with our TuneIn app and different things, but I know the link has been fixed, and hopefully the TuneIn app will be working up and again
soon,
in a few days. So.
But our link did change. So if you're listening live right now through Service Electric or anything like that,
They shared it on the Facebook.
They shared it on the Facebook. It's new. It will be changed through TuneIn very soon. But for right now, everything is updated on kutztown.edu/KUR. So you can find us at any time, any place on the interwebs, which is, I feel like, pretty common for the interwebs, is finding things at any time.
But soon we'll be taken off of Service Electric, so things are changing, but
we got some new things in the works and stuff, so have no fear. One door closes, another door opens, and of course nothing is official about anything, but we've got some good vibes coming in our direction, and I think that that's good stuff. So
for sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. Oh my gosh,
I can't believe it.
You're leaving us.
I know.
Traumatized.
I'm so sad. I don't like to think about it.
Sorry, I keep bringing it up, but it's because I'm traumatized.
People keep asking me if I'm excited for graduation, and I'm like, yes, but no. I'm excited, and I can't believe it. And 4 years really will fly by faster than you can imagine. I feel like I still just moved into my little corner freshman dorm. I'm still living in that little hole in the wall place, but it's just been crazy, and I'm so excited and so sad, but excited. It's just so many mixes of emotions all at once.
Do you have a favorite memory about KUR? I mean, I just asked this to Daniel Price earlier, but
I have a favorite memory
or a couple of favorite memories.
I think just thinking about my whole college experience as a whole, KUR is always just the number one thing. Even when I went on a job interview, they're like, oh, so what have you done in college? And I'm like, KUR is always the first thing I tell people. I'm always so excited about it. Even throughout my 4 years, I've just been so excited to tell people that, hey, I'm on the radio, because that's just the coolest thing in general. It's definitely taught me a lot, especially hosting Kutztown Live, the 2 years prior to this. I learned a lot. I got to meet a lot of people when they would bring in actual big real DJ hosts in to sit down and talk with me and kind of teach me the ways and tips. That was just incredible, being able to kind of meet all those different kinds of people. And then I said, the block party, because with when Lori brings different people in, I just get to meet a lot of different people. And so walking them down the block party, I know a lot of different business owners and company owners. And even a few, I guess I want to say 2 years ago now, we brought in, with Lori, she brought in one of the owners of Farmhouse Flowers, which is up just kind of past Giant up the street, and I like their page on Facebook, because usually I connected with a bunch of different people, and I was even going to events with her now, and she was like, oh, you were on the radio, and so it's just fun for people to be like, you talk to me. And so being able to host and meet a lot of different people, because being on the radio is so exciting, and being able to help people be on the radio is really cool. So I don't know, I don't have a favorite memory, just every little thing along the way that I've done is probably my favorite memory as a whole.
Oh, that is so sweet. Well, we bid you a happy farewell, because you're going to be doing such wonderful, amazing things. And all good stuff is happening in this world. We've got a lot of good, fun ideas for KUR next year. So definitely stay tuned. And we are grateful to have everyone here. So thank you so much to Brian Zelmer from KU Presents and Daniel Price from KUR originally, and also the Alumni Association president, etc., and also Lori D'Onofrio Galli from the Northeast Berks Chamber of Commerce, and her guest Marie Moser. We have had such special people on this semester, and we really appreciate everything. So if you want to contact us, KUR@kutztown.edu, we can get you on the air perhaps. All right, stay tuned, only here on KUR.
Whoa. You are listening to KUR, the radio voice of Kutztown University, on air at 1670 AM.
streaming online at www.kutztown.edu/KUR. At select times of the day on Service Electric, Berks Channel 24, Hometown Utilicom Channel 191, Service Electric Lehigh Channel 266. On your smartphone using a free app like TuneIn. You can listen to KUR anywhere you have a phone. Like that landline, just by dialing 563-999-3101. You can also hear your favorite KU Radio programming at any time on Mixcloud.com/KU Radio. It's your favorite shows whenever you want them. KUR, Kutztown University's source for music, talk, and everything in between.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. Opposition leader in Venezuela Juan Guaido says he has military support for a final phase of his efforts to bring down President Maduro. A video on social media shows him with uniformed men at a military base. The government in Venezuela says it's in the process of snuffing out a coup. President Trump is said to be monitoring events from the White House. The US officially recognizes Juan Guaido, who announced the coup attempt, as the country's president. Simon Marks reports from FSN Washington.
These are nervous hours in Washington as President Trump waits to see whether this really is the final phase of Venezuela's struggle, as the opposition leader has pledged. Juan Guaido called on Venezuelans to take to the streets and support those elements of the military turning against President Nicolas Maduro. Senator Marco Rubio of Florida, who successfully urged the White House to back the opposition leader, made a similar appeal.
Japan's Emperor Akihito has declared his abdication, the first monarch in the country to do so in over 200 years. Private rituals in Tokyo's Imperial Palace will be followed on Wednesday by his son, Crown Prince Naruhito, ascending the throne. Emperor Akihito has been given permission to step down from the symbolic role after saying he couldn't carry out his duties